Another report has just came out about a Bengals player we've talked about a lot in the last week. Before I jump into this latest report, this number keeps going down. 89% of you are not subscribed to the Bengals Digest channel, so please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 700, about 5 subscribers away in a matter of a day since we hit 600. So I can't thank you guys enough, but that's on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I think we can hit it before the halfway point of the month. But let me jump in to the report. It involves Edge Rusher Trey Hendrickson. He's obviously is one of the main focal points of this offseason for the Cincinnati Bengals. He was on Wednesday. He was on the Pat McAfee show in New Orleans, and he said, basically, pay me or trade me. He doesn't want to wait too long. He doesn't want to go into the 2025 season not knowing what his future is going to be. He wants it to get resolved fast. He wants it to be either extend me or trade me. He doesn't want to go into free agency. He even said, I want to help Cincinnati win a Super Bowl, with whether that's if I'm in Cincinnati or I'm not. So he wants to get paid and help them on the team, or get traded and help them by getting picks or another player or for whatever reason. In this report, Trey Hendrickson trade, ? NFL Insider shares latest buzz about Bengals star pass rushers. Let me go through it, and then I'll give my opinions on what I think the Bengals should do. Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson wants a contract extension this offseason. The all-pro pass rusher essentially said, like I said, pay me or trade me when asked about his future with the team earlier this week on the Pat McAfee show. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler shared the latest on Trey Hendrickson, which includes one league source setting the table for what could ultimately result in the 30-year-old getting traded. Going on. This is a quote coming from Fowler. It's logical to figure Hendrickson could get above $3 million per year. As one league source predicts, Max, Miles, and Trey, Max Crosby for the Raiders, Myles Garrett for the Browns, and Trey Hendrickson for the Bengals, will all be tied up in trade talks. The expectation is Crosby and Hendrickson will get strong trade interest if their respective teams decide to entertain calls. Basically saying, for Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson, if both organizations, let's talk about the Bengals, if the Bengals are open to trades and entertain calls, if teams start calling the Bengals about Hendrickson and start entertaining the calls, then that's going to get around the league really fast that Trey Hendrickson is available on the trade block. But teams must figure out this edge rush market either by proactively signing their own players to high-end money, or finding a way to get younger and cheaper at the position. So this is the main crossroad for especially just edge rushers this offseason. There's a lot of guys that want to be traded or need contract extensions, all that good stuff. And mainly Max, especially at the top level, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, and Trey Hendrickson. They're saying what's the most beneficial thing would probably be signing your own player, because you maybe could get them cheaper, or if you trade them, maybe you could get more value. But if you trade them, then you're going to have to go get another edge rusher to fill his spot, most likely being more expensive if you go get the same talent and caliber of player. But I'll keep going on. This is another scenario where signing Trey Hendrickson to an extension in the near future could be beneficial for the Bengals, like it should be. With guys like Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and other pass rushers possibly generating trade interest, Cincinnati could keep their own star by signing him before the market shifts. So I agree completely with what this report says. I think the smart thing for Cincinnati would be to sign him like in the next week or two, extend him, give him an extension before the edge rusher market explodes. You want to be the first one to offer Trey Hendrickson a deal, give him like $27 million a year, right? Have him sign on the dotted paper, and then Myles Garrett gets an extension or whatever, or traded or whatever. Max Crosby gets an extension, and they can beat the record where now the Trey Hendrickson deal would look a lot better at $27 million a year, when Max Crosby is getting $30 a year, Myles Garrett extension or trade getting $33 a year or whatever, whatever it might be. Me personally, I'm looking at Trey Hendrickson around a $27 million per year, and I would be fine with that. And this is what the report goes on to say. Hendrickson led the NFL in sacks with 7.5 in 2024. Also 17.5 in 2024. Also had 17.5 sacks in 2023. He has 1 year left on his contract, 2025 season. While Fowler hinted at $30 million per year for Hendrickson, it's reasonable to think he'd be willing to make a market deal in the 25-27 million range, especially since he isn't a free agent. So, like, what Trey Hendrickson said, he wants to know, and even last season, offseason, when he had the trade request, his main reasoning for it is because he wants a long-term deal. He doesn't want another 2-year extension. He wants like a 5-year extension. He wants to make sure that him and his wife, he even brought his wife up on the Pat McAfee show, that him and his wife have a solidified future going forward with whatever team he's going to be. He doesn't want to be hopping from team to team. He doesn't want short contracts where every other year he's having to renegotiate. He wants to have a long-term deal so he knows for the foreseeable future he's going to be on whatever team he's going to be on, which I think is completely valid. I think with how our players currently are talking in the media, meaning Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trey Hendrickson, Mike Gesicki, they all sound like they want to play together. They all sound like they know what it's going to take to play together, including Joe Burrow said he would restructure his contract. And when I brought up, I got yelled at in the comments because I was talking about restructuring and then talking about pay cut. I know they're different. You can restructure it, get the same amount of money, but restructure where it's like ladder heavy instead of top heavy. So Joe Burrow even said he would restructure his contract. I wouldn't even be surprised if he took a pay cut. And in reality, I wouldn't be surprised if he took a pay cut. But restructure his contract, and that would put enough money in the cap space, and we have enough money in the cap space already to sign Trey Hendrickson to a 20. I would even be fine if he accepted a $25 million per year, 5-year extension. I would love that, but I'm expecting probably, since he just led the NFL in sacks, I'm assuming around the 27 mil mark is what I'm assuming per year for Trey Hendrickson, and I think that would be a win. I think that would be a good deal for both sides. Trey Hendrickson would be one of the highest paid edge rushers in the league, which he deserves to be. And then Cincinnati would have enough money left over to go sign the other guys they need to sign. And that includes even, once again, I love Sam Hubbard. He's one of my favorite Bengals and Buckeyes of all time. But it's time to look at your options and what you want to do with your franchise. It's time to cut him. He's making $10 million a year. $10 million a year. You cut him, you have plenty of money to give Trey Hendrickson a few more million a year to get up to $27 million a year to satisfy his long-term deal once, satisfy what he's earned yearly, and then satisfy what you need for the Bengals, what you need in cap space to go get other guys. And then once you cut Sam Hubbard, go get a guy in the draft. Like, how many mock draft videos have I done talking about multiple different edge rushers? Or go get like a guy in free agency, like Khalil Mack will be available. Chase Young. And a lot of you guys agreed in the comments that would be a really good pickup. Like Trey Hendrickson, he kind of was just mid and struggled a little bit in New Orleans, but came to Cincinnati and turned into one of the best edge rushers in the league. Chase Young has bounced from the Washington Commanders to the 49ers to the New Orleans Saints, and he's just been consistently mid for what he was projected to be out of college. Maybe the same thing could happen. If he comes to Cincinnati, he could turn into one of the better or one of the great edge rushers in the league because he has the talent. He has the pure talent to be that. But with Trey Hendrickson, I think it's a no-brainer. He has to be re-signed. You have to extend him. I don't think there's an option. He might even be more valuable to the Bengals overall than, well, he's definitely, I would say he's definitely more, not definitely, he's more valuable to the overall Bengals organization than T. Higgins is, in my opinion. I think Jamar Chase should be priority number one, but I think that's already not even a priority anymore. I think that's just a foregone conclusion. I think it's already happened. So, number one should be Trey Hendrickson. I think right now we should be talking with Trey Hendrickson every single day, trying to figure out what will work for both of us, for Trey Hendrickson to be satisfied with a long-term deal, an amount that is equivalent to what he earned and deserves, and then what Cincinnati would be able to sign the rest of their players that they need to sign, how they structure the contract. I think that's the best world and best case scenario. I would say probably I'm looking about 5 years, $27 million a year is what I am expecting the deal to be, the extension to be, with how Trey Hendrickson is talking, how he wants a long-term deal. I think it will be a 5-year, $27 million a year, or 5 years, $27 million a year extension for one of the best edge rushers in the league, Trey Hendrickson. And then because of that extension, then the edge rusher market will explode. Max Crosby will ask for more. Myles Garrett will ask for more. TJ Watt might ask for more. Everybody will start asking for more because of Trey Hendrickson, and then we would have probably the best deal in the league with our edge rusher, Trey Hendrickson. But I know there's a lot of contract videos I've talked about recently, and I know a lot of you guys even commenting about hopefully the Bengals make a move soon, so we have something more to talk about than just speculating on contracts. But I will be doing more mock draft videos or just talking about prospects, all that kind of stuff. I will be talking about, and when more news comes out, I will be doing obviously reporting on everything that goes on in Cincinnati. I am in school, so I have a busy schedule, so I'm going to try to make the videos a little more entertaining and a little bit more involving, if that makes sense, for you guys to make it entertaining and worth your while. But thank you guys so much for watching this Bengals Digest video. I know we've talked about Trey Hendrickson a lot, but I love Trey Hendrickson, and he's really important to the Cincinnati Bengals. But before I go, don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. Only 10% of you right now watching are subscribed, so please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 700, and then we're right on the home stretch to 1,000 subscribers. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the love you showed to the channel. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below what you think the extension for Trey is going to be, or if you think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to trade him. And I wouldn't entirely disagree with you if you have a strong feeling because of how the organization has been in the past if we trade him. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Carson Lokey for the Bengals Digest channel. I'll see you next time.